see what happens when we invite not only a friend, but an Alaskan onto the podcast.
Wow!
Shit gets weird.
The pad man.
Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of Local Listens. Available on Spotify, Pocket Casts, Anchor, and our YouTube channel. This episode is being brought to you a week later than our normal schedule due to some technical difficulties. This week we have a friend of ours, Nessa, on to talk about her travels, hitchhiking, busking, and living in a cave, playing a type of 10-string ukulele, and the feeling of being too old for social media. We talk about Alaskan shows and festivals like Trapper Creek, going dip netting, and Pink Floyd and the Dark Side of the Rainbow. As always, if other bands are mentioned throughout the episode, you can find links to them in the episode description.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Local Listens. I am Bailey of Bailey Ukulele.
And I am Shane from Sanatorium Hill, and this week we have...
Nessa from...
Yay!
I've been in a lot of... I don't know.
Yeah, so do you have any current projects, or are you doing just solo stuff?
I haven't been doing a whole lot, but I think I'm going to start a new project and call it DIE, which will stand for Do It Eventually, because we all do.
Okay.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's relatable.
I was really I came up with that while I was watching my friend's band Flannels and Skanks play, and I was just like, I can't forget this. This is fucking brilliant.
Nice.
But yeah, that's probably what I'll start doing when I get back to playing music and playing shows and stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
that's awesome.
So how long have you actually been playing music? Like, when did you get your start?
Well, I sang my whole life, like growing up in like choir and chorus and stuff at school and church. And I started actually playing like instruments back in like 2013. So almost 10 years, I guess, or 8 years or something.
Okay.
Yep, I was
Awesome.
traveling in a van with 13 people and 3 dogs.
Whoo.
Wow.
And it's like, well, we better start busking.
There you go.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you'd be surprised like how quickly you can learn when you have like no privacy, you know?
Right?
And it's just like, yeah, nowhere to really practice except for like the woods or us on the side of the street, you know?
Damn.
I'm like, okay, we're waking up. Oh, we're practicing again. Oh, that's what we're doing. We're not like eating. Just we're gonna
good
practice.
morning,
Okay.
good morning.
I
Here's
don't
your
know about
instrument. Come on.
Like, definitely have coffee and like some food, and I don't think it was like you weren't like busking like 24/7 or anything, but I definitely dedicated like the first year that I played music probably like at least 8 hours a day.
Oh wow. Yeah, I was never that committed.
I was gonna say I don't practice that much.
Well, I also was just like, you know, traveling around, like hitchhiking and or traveling in vehicles with friends and rubber tramping it.
Right on.
Yeah.
The instrument you play the most is the ukulele, right?
Yeah,
Or is
but
it...
I usually play like different variations, not just like a plain ukulele.
All right.
Like my favorite instrument that I generally like to play with is it's actually called a T-play, but it's a 1928 Martin 10-string ukulele.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were first created in Cuba.
So how does that even work? Because it's normally 4 strings, so like 8 strings makes sense, but like 10?
The G and the A are 2 strings, and then the C and the E are triple strung.
Oh,
And it's all
Well-
steel strings. So it's pretty comparable to like a 12-string guitar.
whoa.
Jeez.
So you're
That sounds
fretting
amazing.
3 strings at once with each finger. That sounds
Well, I
horrible.
generally I mean, I don't play it like that though.
Oh,
I don't know, like a guitar, like someone would play a guitar. I don't play it like traditional ukulele style or anything.
okay.
So I'm just hitting all 10 strings every time, or like maybe like half. I don't know, one and a half. I don't know how to explain it.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
But yeah, it's not fun to play with just your fingers. You got to use a pick for that one.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause I
It'll
remember
tear your shit up fast.
when I was trying to figure out how to play the mandolin, that drove me crazy. Like trying to get used to pushing down two strings at once, because like that string tension is
Oh yeah.
like already enough to like fucking drive you mad. Then you try to
Right.
work with it. So I can't imagine like three.
My fingers get really strong when I'm playing that one a lot, like the hand that's like holding the frets, because it takes a lot more pressure than just holding down like one or two strings with each finger.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it just, yeah, you get some good calluses real fast with that bad boy.
There you go.
I can't imagine trying to do any like barring at all.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I gave up on that dream. Like I would have to like have like Hulk hands to do that.
So
Now I'm just picturing Hulk playing a ukulele. I love it.
yeah, that sounds amazing.
I know, doesn't it?
Big old
I'd
guy.
pay $1.
What was that?
Oh, I said I'd pay $1 for that.
Right, me too. I agree.
So, what's some of your like influences and stuff like that when you're writing music?
Mostly from like different experiences or different like I don't know, you know how like your memories will pop up into your head and it's not like a story, but it kind of is. Like
Okay.
I wrote a song about one of the music festivals that happens up here in Alaska, and it's called Trapper Creek Mystique, but like that entire song is about like, jumping on into a car under a rainbow fucking parachute in the middle of the woods and like watching the northern lights and fire shows and circuses and like eating
Whoa.
mushrooms and riding trains in the woods and just like yeah, all of that it's inspired by stuff that really happened.
Whoa, that's
In a
cool.
way.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just over here like, damn.
It's kind of
Yeah,
psychedelic.
I wrote another song, like another one of my favorite songs was about it's called Juan Love, and it was when I lived in North San Juan, California, and I lived in a rock cave for like 3 weeks or a month or something. And I like did DMT by myself for the first time. Just by myself it was for the first time, but it was pretty awesome.
Whoa.
There's like this one thing in the rock cave, and it's like this log that had like a face like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas carved into it. So I was like, yeah, babe, we're gonna fucking blast off tonight. And it was pretty badass. But I wrote a song
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
So, how does one just come to live in a cave? What is the story behind that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that same thing.
I don't know. Again, I was traveling with those folks in the van, all 13 of us and 3 dogs, and we just found this spot in North San Juan. We were looking for trim work and stuff, and we just ended up like hanging out there for like 3 weeks. Just there's like a nude beach, and then sick ass rock cave. Like, why not?
Okay.
Sure, why not? Hell yeah.
That is
It was
wild.
awesome. Nothing drove us to it. It just kind of happened, and we are like, yeah, fuck it, we'll hang out here for a bit.
He's gonna live in a cave. That's awesome.
Why not, man?
Yeah, it was fun.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just right on the Yuba River.
I wanna go live in a cave.
Okay. Wow. So you go from living in a cave in California to living in Alaska.
Well, I grew up in Alaska, kind of.
Okay.
I spent some years up here growing up, and I moved up here before high school.
Ah, gotcha.
But yeah, I've hitchhiked all over Alaska and all over the lower 48, like gone on tours around and stuff. I used to be in the band Saucy Yoda, and we did a tour back in 2017 that was like 78 days. We played over 50 shows in 7 states.
Wow.
Whoa.
It was a lot. It was very fun, very intense.
And you were called Saucy Yoda?
Yeah, that band is still a thing. I'm just not a part of it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look them up. Like what kind of music are they playing?
Well, some of it is like rap, like hip hop, and then some of it is like kind of like alternative, rocky, punk stuff.
Whoa.
I don't know, not very good. She has like we did like 2 different sets each night. So it's like there's like a hip hop rap set, and then there's also like a punk set.
Whoa.
It's wild.
So where would people go to find Saucy Yoda? Are they on like Bandcamp or Spotify or anything like that?
I believe that she has a Spotify for Saucy Yoda that's going on. I think it just like got TikTok famous with a bunch of kids or something.
Whoa, okay. See, I'm still
But
falling behind on the TikTok trend.
Right.
yeah, I'm not really. I think I'm too old. You know, I don't know. I turned 28, but I feel more like I'm 58.
I
Huh.
I do have a friend that's 27 that just started TikTok and like was commenting on videos or something like that, or however TikTok works. And she told me not that long ago that people were like making fun of her for being so old and using TikTok. I'm like,
Oh man,
what?
that's why I could do it. I definitely am not going to do it now.
Yeah, it's just like what's going what you're 27 and you're on the internet.
Right?
Since when is this too old?
Well, it's because we remember the and like not being able to make phone calls because you wanted to play Neopets or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if Bo Burnham can do a comedy special and have a whole part of it about him turning 30, I think I can use TikTok at 27.
Yeah, why not? Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like Instagram and Facebook and like all of these. I haven't even gotten on the Twitter train, man. I did Snapchat like 10 years ago and I was like, this is too much.
I agree. I hardly knew Instagram. I don't knew Twitter. I don't knew Snapchat. I just knew Facebook. That's really all I knew.
At one point you just kind of lose your own grasp on reality if you get too sucked into those things, you know.
Yeah. I know Shannon's really good on Instagram and has done like the gravel pit Instagram, and we've been trying to
Oh
do
yeah, I
one.
follow you.
It's really cool. Like they do a lot on that, but I cannot pay that much attention to social media and stay mentally healthy. So
That's
Social media these days. It's just
yeah,
crazy.
social media. One thing you mentioned before that Bailey and I were actually talking about before we gave you a call, and we were just like, oh yeah, this is the thing that we want to ask about is Trapper Creek.
It's a music festival in Trapper Creek, Alaska. It's called Trapper Creek Bluegrass Festival, or we call it TCBG. But
Okay.
Boot, who's in the band, the goddamn Ranchhand band, he owns the property out there, and it's like the best party in Alaska. I mean, it's called a bluegrass festival, but it's not just bluegrass. Like we've had all kinds of music and art stuff, like fire circuses and burlesque dancing and just all kinds of stuff. It's like a 40-acre playground.
Wow.
Wow. Around
I want to
when?
go to that so bad.
Yeah, around when is Trapper Creek?
So Trapper Creek happens Memorial Weekend every year up here. This year we're actually doing a Frequinox, so it'll be like September 27th that weekend. So it'll be fun. I think we all just need it after not having it last year. Like it's like a giant family reunion kind of. Everyone
Yeah.
from all of our friend group from around Alaska comes, and there's just music everywhere. There's no car stereos, no glow sticks, no violence. And if your dog's an asshole, then fuck off, you know.
Ah,
But everyone just like people bring pianos out. Like we just like a lot of jamming
that's
going
awesome.
on.
I love
I
how
want to
you
go. That sounds like fun.
I love how you
Yeah,
said no glow sticks.
yeah. Well, that shit sucks to pick up because you know who has to clean it up after all of us.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We're like it totally makes sense, but it's just like, huh, no glow sticks.
Yeah, no glass either. You
Oh,
know,
see, that's a good one. Because people break bottles and then they leave that shit everywhere, and then people come through and get
exactly.
all cut up. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we already have to dodge the Devil's Club if you go barefoot. Like, you don't need to be dodging glass too. It's a plant that grows. I feel like I'm pretty sure it's in Washington too, in some places, but it's all over Alaska, and it's like got little spikies on it that I would probably compare to like a cactus, because they go in and they're not big enough for you to pull out or anything, and it just kind of really hurts.
huh.
Yeah, it sucks.
Word
But
to the viewers, don't
I
step
mean,
on
there
that
are some
plant.
good medicinal benefits to Devil's Club, so It's not all bad.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
You can like harvest it when it's really young in the springtime and make salves for like arthritis and stuff, which is pretty cool.
That's
Ooh.
cool.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's-
it works really good too.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to look
But you
that
have to
up.
get it when it's young enough because then it's not like I don't know. It like changes as it matures, you know.
Huh. So, do you have any shows or anything coming up that you're playing?
No, I haven't been booking any shows.
All right. Are there any
Uh,
shows coming up that you hope to attend?
I'm gonna go to Punk's Picnic in in Oregon. I really want to see Gwar like on November 1st in Seattle. That'd be so dope.
I am
And
hope.
also the Circle Jerks are coming around, so I kind of want to catch one of those shows.
Yeah, the Circle Jerks. With Negative Approach, the Adolescents, and like Municipal Waste in some shows.
I definitely want to make it for one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Sadly,
I think we should all go to see Circle Jerks.
yeah,
I'm like, when I saw they were coming, I was like, oh my god, I can't not go.
yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks that the date in Seattle is like Municipal Waste isn't there on that day.
I know,
Oh,
of
man.
course.
We gotta
Just our
find them
luck, right?
somewhere else on one of the other days.
Yeah, like cool. We're gonna chase
If
the
you-
the Circle Jerks like people used to follow the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, but it's way cooler if you're doing it for the Circle Jerks. I think.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, people still chase around the Grateful Dead, and I don't even think it's like any of the original members at this point.
Yeah,
I
it's
think there's like maybe one.
yeah,
That's about it.
I know like Bob Weir's still alive, but yeah, like it's not the Grateful Dead anymore. It's like Bob Weir and like John Mayer.
Yeah, isn't it
Oh,
called
yeah.
like Dead and Company now?
Yeah,
Or some
Dead
shit?
and Company.
Yeah.
The first concert I ever went to was the Grateful Dead, and I was in 3rd grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first concert I ever went to was, oh my God, is like Uncle Kracker and like some other country music singers and stuff. It was ridiculous.
Right on. How old
I
were
think
you?
my
or do
first
you
concert
remember?
was.
I was like 8 or something.
Oh,
My-
dang.
My mom was really into country, like pop country. I am not
Gotcha.
anymore. I learned.
There you go.
Bailey, what's your
Yeah.
first concert?
Gosh. I think my first concert was at this toy store they used to have up in Seattle. They had a few different ones, but the main one was in Seattle. It was called Zany Brainy. And it was like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, but like, it's basically like this toy store in the movie too. It's like a toy store, but you can just play with all the toys. It was like one of those toy stores where like you could do whatever
that's
you wanted. And so they would have like concerts there and stuff. And so they had this like band there. I can't remember exactly what the band name was. It was like these two guys that played guitars. And like I think that was like probably my first like real concert I went to.
How
Oh.
awesome would it be if it was Tenacious D?
That'd be sick. I don't think it was Tenacious D. I probably would have remembered that. I mean, I watched School of Rock the year it came out, and I was obsessed with Jack Black, so
Man,
pretty sure I
Yeah.
remember. But yeah, that would have been sick.
I'm pretty sure I still have a unhealthy obsession with Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Oh yeah, just Jack Black. The rest of this episode is dedicated to Jack Black, I guess. So you mentioned doing a lot of like busking and stuff and traveling. Do you have any favorite places that come to mind?
I don't know. My favorite place to busk is up in Denali here in Alaska. It's awesome. Just like the scenery is beautiful, and just like watching all the tourists is hilarious and also very rewarding.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this one time I wasn't even busking. I was like waiting in line outside the coffee shop. And I just had my instrument because I was busking like earlier that day or whatever. And these people just like tapped on my shoulder and they just like handed me $100 bill. And they were like, God bless you. I hope this helps you in your journey. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. It was,
Damn.
Okay.
yeah, Sally is magic, dude.
Oh,
guess so.
wow.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I could do without the God talk, but I'll take that 100.
Yeah,
That's a
like
good kick. That doesn't happen every day or anything, but you know.
oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, especially if you got a husky with you, it's very Alaskan.
Oh, yeah. You get
The tourists love anything Alaska-like.
got to
Right.
give off the vibe, you know?
LaGrande, Oregon is pretty awesome too, actually. There's a lot of really nice people there. There's like one music shop, I think in town. It's like in the downtown area, and the guy that owns that shop is super rad. I
Oh,
don't remember what
cool.
it's called. I don't remember what it's called. The last time I went through there was like probably like 5 or 6 years ago. It's like the only music shop in the downtown area. It's super rad. It's like kind of close to Idaho. Like it's pretty far east,
All
but
right.
but if you are going through Oregon, if you have to go any further south than Bend, I would not stop in any of those towns. They all look like there's like a million burnt down buildings and stuff, but it's all like really, really heavy Trump towns, and people are not nice.
Circle on the map to try to avoid.
Yeah,
Always a good
just
time.
anywhere south, so it's like southeastern Oregon.
Okay.
Just
And I'm just
avoid that.
picturing you like getting out like a map and using like whiteout on those spots. Not
Yeah.
gonna go there.
Yeah, like an Animaniac skit, you know, just like
Yeah,
pull a map out
exactly.
of nowhere, scribble it off, throw it away.
Oh man, the new Animaniac is pretty dope.
Uh,
This part of the episode is dedicated to the Animaniacs.
Jack
Yeah.
Black had his moment. This is dedicated to the Warner Brothers and their sister Dot.
Yeah.
So other than music and traveling and stuff, do you have any other hobbies that you do in between everything else that's been going on?
Well, I worked on farms a lot, and I really love farming and like building stuff and working with animals and whatnot. So
Okay.
there's that. I've been doing throughout the pandemic. I haven't been playing very much music, from not really hanging out with people, but I've been doing a lot of painting and drawing and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So that's fun, and getting a lot of tattoos. Like, I don't know if that counts as a hobby, but
I mean,
maybe.
it can
Yeah.
be.
Right? If you're doing it enough, it can be a hobby.
Yeah. Anything's a hobby if you, I guess, put more money into it than you get out of it. So yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, then it totally counts. Tattoos.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I think I have seen some of your art that you've posted. It's been a while though.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of camping and stuff this summer. So like, I mean, it's summertime in Alaska. I'm like adventuring out like this weekend. My friend hit me up and was like, "You want to go down to the peninsula and go down to Kasilof and go dip netting?" And so I hopped in the car and left for like 3 days
What's
sporadically and
what's
just went and hung out in the Kenai Peninsula.
what's dip netting?
It's exactly what it sounds like. So you get on like like a skiff boat on the river, and you just have these like giant nets that are like 5.5 feet are the big ones, I think. And yeah, you just like hold it in the river either while you're on a boat and going down, and you get a shit ton of fish, or yeah, you can also like walk into the river and just do it in some waders. But
Oh, all right.
That's cool.
I didn't do any fishing though, because we got there and then we just ended up like partying and hanging out in the woods. And it was
Yeah.
awesome. I was like, really, I just came for the adventure.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we did the total like camping thing to do. We all squeezed into a tent and watched Space Jam on my phone.
Ooh, the new
We
one?
felt
yeah.
really safe doing it. We were all hungover, like this is the best. We got burgers and Bloody Marys, and then
Yes. Space Jam. I love it.
Is that the new one or the like original one?
yeah, that was the new one.
How
How is it?
Yeah, how is it? I haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was pretty good. It was fun. There's a lot of references. They like reference like the Matrix and like Harry Potter and like all kinds of all kinds of old Warner, like whatever that movie
Yeah.
company is.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's definitely different from the original Space Jam, but I was kind of glad they went on a whole nother story take of it. It wasn't like the
That's
same
cool.
movie over again,
Right,
which
right.
would be pretty disappointing because you can't do that.
No.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty clever.
All right.
Whenever I think of Space Jam, all I think of is the soundtrack.
Yes. Such a
Right.
good
Dude,
sound.
yeah.
Okay, wait.
Last year, my roommate's kid was obsessed with Space Jam. He'd just sit in the living room. He's like 8 years old, and when he wasn't at hockey, he'd just like sit there watch Space Jam on repeat.
Yes.
So I watched it a lot last year. Like,
Fuck yeah.
That is a
but it never
childhood that I want to
really
live.
irritating
Right.
every time you watch it. Like, it's good. It holds
Such
up.
a good movie.
Oh yeah.
So, have you guys seen the musical Hamilton or know about it?
I know about it.
Yeah, I know about it. I
Oh.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, so supposedly this year, during the pandemic, some guy took all the music from Hamilton, erased all the words, and then put the entire sound, and then made a whole album called Slamilton, and it tells the entire story of Space Jam in like an hour with like rap music. It's the best thing I've ever seen. It's so good. I'm gonna have to send it to you all.
Yes, please do.
It's fantastic. It's so good.
Yeah.
And it, like at one point, there's a part where it's like they're like singing some like in the Hamilton musical, they're singing some part about like how I'm not gonna give away my shot or whatever. And then like in the Slamilton musical, you hear like young Michael Jordan say, "I want to play basketball." It's like it's so good. I can't even like. You all have to check that shit out. Slamilton on YouTube. Look it up.
All right,
Oh,
yeah.
man, I like how people did that with that Pink Floyd album and The Wizard of Oz.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I remember my dad explaining that to me when I was a kid. Just like, yeah, when the lion roars, you have to sync it up to the album and then mute the movie because the album tells the story. And I'm like, Dad, how many drugs were you on
Mushrooms.
when you
Right.
figured this out?
Dude, I tell you, though, it is very trippy when you do watch it on mushrooms or acid. Though.
Yeah,
It's weird. You get a total epiphany and you're like,
I am the lion.
like there's so many rumors of like, oh yeah, they wrote it to be like that. Like one, no they didn't, but two, awesome. Do you think they really tried really that hard to do this? Because that would be kind of cool.
for that.
Yeah, like, huh. Well, if they figured out how to do it, then I want to write an album that goes along with Halo 3.
Yes.
Please.
20 years down the road, somebody would be like, "Hey, if you listen to this shitty album at the same time that this guy dies, everything syncs up."
The funny thing is like, just who did that for the first time and
Yeah.
realized it?
Right.
You know,
Oh,
like-
and I have an idea.
Yeah, like somebody was watching The Wizard of Oz and at the same time was just like, "Oh shit." Do you know what I really want to listen to right now? Pink
What is
Floyd.
it? Me too.
Oh,
Let's
let's
try
do
something.
it.
Do you think
Like,
do you think they did it like 30 times to like figure out where it would match up perfectly?
I'm sure they
probably.
got it perfect before they released it to the world.
Yeah, but then again, how did they release it to the world? That had to be all like word of mouth and like one person that probably wrote it to like a letter to the editor in
Right,
some like
yeah.
Oh, right.
Something.
I'm assuming some California newspaper because like
Right.
where else
It
would this
sounds right.
begin?
Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw online a while back that apparently in some places they actually sell the Wizard of Oz movie with that album like together, like as a bundle.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's smart.
Yeah, you can probably find a torrent of it and like somebody just like, oh yeah, that's what it did.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you can find it on YouTube these
Oh,
days.
yeah, probably.
True.
Well, back to talking about your music since you're
Right, music.
here. You mentioned not having much motivation and stuff because of like COVID, which I totally understand. When COVID hit, I was like, all right, I got no work. I'm going to put out an album. And then it took almost exactly 1 year to put out an album because why would I work on it? There wasn't any shows. There was nobody listening to anything. So it's just like, I'm not going to sit here and really write.
Yeah, it's it just felt very unmotivated. You know, I feel like for the first, like, probably like the first 6 or 8 months of the pandemic, I was really good at still playing and like writing some stuff. But then it just like, I lost my grandma last year and stuff, and a bunch of other, and like some other family members. And it was just, you know, really tough to like feel motivated to do it, you know,
Oh yeah.
especially with, like, without the prospect of like playing shows or like having that motivation to like, you know, stay on top of it at that
Right.
point. Like we're like 8 months in and the end does not seem near.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get back into it. I've played a couple times this week, so that's pretty good.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, the moment I found out that like things were opening up again, I put a list together of like almost 30 songs to like practice and get used to like playing so I could go out busking and everything. And I practiced nonstop for about 2 weeks. And then I just didn't.
Yeah.
There's the end of that sentence.
Yeah. And it's like, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, I tried.
At this
Yeah.
point, it's just been so long. I'm like, trying to remember how to play my own songs, or like even the songs that I wrote last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
I
okay,
agree.
how did I write that again? I'm like, at least I
Yeah, for
generally
real
do
though.
like video recordings of me practicing, so I can just look back and be like, oh, that's what chord I was making there. Okay.
That's smart. Like an archive.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't know, it works when you forget.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. How did the like local music scene up by you take it to with COVID and everything, and how is everything opening up since
I think everything was it May that everything reopened all the way.
yeah.
I think it's like May up here that everything like reopened. Like there's no more like limits or they just made like either in May or June masks aren't required anymore either. Um it's like a lot of people in Alaska have been getting vaccinated and stuff, and our cases got down really low. Um but pertaining to the music scene, I mean, it sucked, you know, like wintertime in Alaska, like music and like going to shows and stuff really helps. Like we're very community oriented because it's so cold and dark all winter. Like I think on our shortest day here in Anchorage, we get like 3.5 hours of daylight, but that's including sunrise and sunset. So the sun doesn't ever actually like go up in the top of the sky. It like goes above the mountains and then goes back down pretty much.
Got it.
Okay.
And that definitely wears really heavy on you. So I think it really like rocked a lot of people's worlds, especially like there's a lot of travelers and stuff in Alaska, and the music scene is pretty amazing. But yeah, it's just one of the ways that we all like connect with each other, especially when we're like trying not to be crazy and depressed. And it really hit everyone really hard. But everyone's coming back with like, you know, uh, there's a really awesome band up here called the Jeffries, and they have written some awesome new music that I've been really stoked to hear. And I saw them in Seward a couple weeks ago, and they're actually playing tomorrow night too. But yeah, and a bunch of bands and a lot of musicians up here have come up with some really awesome new music out of this pandemic, which is, you know, on the bright side. But everyone's kind of awkward when it comes to jamming now.
Yeah.
They're all just like, I swear I know how to play this instrument.
Right.
It's
Not
just
trying
been
to
a
be
while.
cool now.
That's how I felt like when I went back to shows. Like, people just seemed all like, hey, we're here. Okay, what do we do now? It was just weird when things reopened because it was like, I don't know what to do now. Do I stand here and dance? Like, and the bands were even just like, it looked like the bands were all confused. Like, what are we supposed to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
awesome.
went to a really awesome house show a couple weeks, or probably about a month ago now, and it was like in a garage and everyone was moshing. I had broke my wrist this spring, so I was not about that. But we had another show at our local. It's like the music place here in Anchorage, and it's called Van's Dive Bar. And they just did this show. They do it every year for the anniversary of the bar, but it's called Vaniversary. And they did 29 bands in one day. And it was crazy. Yeah, I hung out outside for a lot of the time because it was like, holy shit, I haven't been around this many people in so long, and it's like
Yeah.
it was a lot, you know. Um, but it
Right.
was awesome. I mean, it was like all friends, you know. It's like everybody from like the same group of friends, you know, everyone that used to go there like before the pandemic and stuff. And like we call Van a lot of us call Vans like our living room because it's just where everyone goes to just hang out with each other, you know. But they
That's
always
awesome.
do shows with no cover as well. So that's
Nice.
like yeah.
Right on. See, with everything opening up and we really need to pay attention to shows that either have no cover or no one turned away, because
Right.
people are so desperate to just get out of their house and do things. And if we allow it to happen, we could totally have like a local music renaissance of all the weird shit people have started to do in their houses, and weird noise projects and weird indie stuff, and like just let it happen and see what happens, and see what
Yep.
weird shit people have been doing in their living room.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. I've seen a lot of people that like didn't play music before the pandemic come out of it, and now they're like playing open mics and you know, like getting more confidence and like getting out to like show this thing that they learned, you know, and that's on that aspect, I think that's pretty cool that the pandemic has been able to do that for some people, you know, give them that time to be able to sit down and learn an instrument.
Yeah.
Right.
Bailey, do you have any last things that you want to say or ask or scream to the abyss?
Let's see.
Potato.
Let me make sure we hit all the points. Okay, we dedicated our podcast to Jack Black. We dedicated our podcast to Animaniacs. We talked about Space Jam. I don't know if there's anything else, man.
Oh,
You hit
weird
all my
episode.
points. Yeah, I don't know, for real.
See what
You're
happens?
gonna listen to this and go, so where was the music in this podcast? Yeah, there isn't music. We don't actually do music, we just pretend.
You see what
We
happens
talked
when
about music.
when we invite not only a friend but an Alaskan onto the podcast.
Wow!
Shit gets weird.
The Pat Man.
Well, yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Well, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
good.
Okay, bye. I love you guys.
All right.
Love you too.
Love you too. As of this upload, we do not have a track from Nessa, but as soon as we do plan on updating this upload, and we want to thank you so much for your support. There was a gap between uploads due to technical difficulties, and both Bailey and my current work schedules, now that things are opening up again. As of right now, our goal is bi-weekly uploads, which means we will bring you a new episode every other week. Same time, same place. 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Spotify, Pocket Casts, Anchor, and our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Local Listens, and have a great and music-filled week.